In this video, I'm going to show you how to create the walls for this camp. We'll be creating a camp that looks like this. This will be the floor plan that we're going to go by and interpret. And this is what it looks like from the back elevation. In Revit, you're going to begin by starting a wall. Before you draw your wall, make sure that the wall type that you're drawing is the one that's appropriate for an exterior wall type. I'm going to choose exterior siding on 2x6 stud. Next, you have to determine the location the wall is going to be justified to. Wall center line is the middle of the wall. We want to pick core face exterior, which will be the same as the outside face of stud. Always begin to draw your walls in a clockwise direction. So I'm going to begin somewhere here inside of this rectangle. I'm going to drag in the direction I want the wall to go in and put in my dimensions. Don't be too concerned about the dimensions at this point. We can change them after the fact. Once you've completed the walls, click on the Modify tool, and then you can click on a wall. Notice when you click on a wall, a dimension appears. When you select that wall, you're indicating that you want to move that wall or make an adjustment to that wall, and I can click on this dimension to make that adjustment. The dimensions, however, aren't going to the correct locations in the wall. I want the dimensions to go to the outside face of stud. I can't see all of the layers of the wall in this setting, so I have to change my view display. Go down to the below the view and you'll see a detail level coarse, and you have a choice between medium and fine. Choose the medium option and you'll notice that the walls have a bolder outline on the outside. If you zoom in a little bit closer, you can actually see the individual layers of the walls now. So we have a gypsum wallboard layer, we have a inside face of stud layer, outside face of stud, outside face of plywood, and then siding. These lines are represented as being thick and thin. If you want to see the lines so that you can see the individual layers a little bit better, you can toggle your line weight display, and then you can see the individual layers a lot more clearly. I want to select that wall. I want to adjust this dimension so that it goes to that outside face of stud, which is this line here. So I'm going to grab this node here and I'm going to move it so that it highlights that outside face of stud line, which is right there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Once you've made that adjustment, when we select that wall again, that temporary dimension will remain that way. So now you see that the dimension says 18 feet, and that makes more sense. Let's take a look at our plan and see what it's supposed to be set to. According to this plan, it appears that we would be able to add around 8 feet to 10 feet and get 18 feet, but I'm going to make a slight adjustment to this, and I'm going to make this 20 feet, and then with the 23 feet in this direction, we would obviously make that 24 feet. So I'm just going to make this camp slightly larger, 20 feet by 24 feet. So I'd select either this wall or the one on the other side. Notice though, when I select the one on the other side, I have to repeat adjusting my temporary dimension. So I'm going to select this wall and then click on the dimension and type in the new value. In Revit, when you type in a value, it's assumed that it is in feet. So you just can type in 20 and hit enter, and it will be accepted as a foot value. If you need to type in inches, you have to make sure you put in the inch mark. I'm going to repeat that process to adjust the wall widths in this way, and I can either select this wall or this one to move, and then I need to move my witness line by grabbing that node and highlighting that outside face of stud. You may need to zoom in and really make sure that it's locating correctly. Now I can tap that dimension and type in 24. So now the walls have all been positioned correctly, and I really don't want them to move. So I'm going to select all of the walls by putting a window around them, and I'm going to pin them. There's a pin under the Modify Walls tab. You'll see a little pin button. If I click on the pin, a pin will appear on each wall. Now if I select the wall, a pin will appear to show that we can't move that wall, or we can prevent that wall from changing. You can unpin the wall if you need to make adjustments, but this will prevent you from accidentally moving those walls.